Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the when to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't Thank you for tuning in to Mrs. Danielle DeVita. I am back with another video. So we are going to talk about accountability. I talk about this often on my channel, but I definitely got to talk about it big time right now. And the reason why it's so important is because I do believe that men and women are not holding themselves accountable. I do think it's more prevalent in women. And I say this because there's so much blame put on men and what they're not doing. And we fail to hold ourselves accountable. So as a woman, I'm just going to start with women. And I definitely don't want any of these. Well, what about the men? Today, we are going to talk about first women, and then we'll move towards men. So here we go. We could talk about all the things that are going on with men, such as, he's not taking care of his child. He's not doing right by me, taking care of the home, and he's not being the good boyfriend. He keeps continually cheating on me and things like that, right? So let's just start with that right there alone. In all those situations, the woman entertained that man. She opened her legs to have children by this man. She decided to allow this man to stay in her home and not provide, especially if it is her being the sole provider, right? Or the main provider. And we're not talking about people who just make more money, but this guy's not doing anything and she's providing. She's still with him. She's longer with him than she's in a relationship with him longer than she needs to be in. And that's one of the biggest things I say, what's holding women back. You're with someone else that is not doing right when you could be with a better person, but you're wasting time with someone who's not doing anything. If you remember my last video, I talked about what a wife is, and E represented empowerment. If you're not empowering, or your efforts to empower this person is not helping them be and do better, they're not the one for you. Move on. Right? So if you are with someone who has no drive and you're continuing to be with them, someone who is continually disrespecting and betraying your trust over and over and over again, this is where there is a discussion needs to happen. And that discussion could easily be, this is what we need to do to move forward, or the relationship is coming to an end. Because I tell you, there's a difference between patience and tolerance. And a lot of women are tolerating a lot of mess, right? So all of this starts with holding ourselves accountable. What place were we in when we decided to get with this no good person? What was our self-esteem like? Why are we accepting this? Why are we opening our legs to this person? Why are we allowing this person in our home when they don't have their own home and they're not financially stable? Why are we entertaining someone who's not worth our time, our trust, our respect? Why? If you don't respect this person, if you don't trust this person, if you don't love this person, if you don't believe this person can provide and protect you, and not just protect you physically, but protect your emotional mindset, then you don't need to be with this person. So then it begs the question, why are you not holding yourself accountable so the next person you can be better? Because there's a lot of women having children after children after children, either with the same man or a different man, and they're saying, well, the guy is this, this, and that, but they fail to realize that you made the choice to even entertain them. So we can forget about how this man is not leading, how he is not worthy of our respect, because we've allowed him, or we let him believe that he's worth our time. Plain and simple. We decided to remain with this guy. We decided to give this guy our time. He's not answering our phone calls. All he wants to do is text. He don't want to have a phone conversation. Then let it be the end. And I'm not just saying things just to say it. I tell the story often that when I first met my husband, he, asked for my number, and when he got my number, he didn't call for like 2 days. I went on about my business, and then he sent me a text, and I said, I don't text. And he called me immediately. Like, if I don't know you, and it's not just like a transactional thing, hey, do this, do that. If I'm trying to have a conversation, a commitment with you, then we need to have a conversation in person or over the phone. That's how I do things. And he saw that because I made it my business to let him know up front what I'm looking for, what I want in a relationship and a man. If he didn't do that, I would have moved on. So that is starting with women. A lot of your issues are, this person isn't doing this, doing that. They don't even have that. They shouldn't even have the opportunity to mess up this many times. So once you're entertaining this person and you realize that their headspace is not to do and be better, then move on. Because everything, dating should have a goal, and the goal is to be a wife. That's not the end goal, but the dating process. You have more than one goals in life, right? So, your first goal is to meet someone, right, who is worthy of your time and your respect and all of these things. So then when you meet with this person, your goal is to not just continually to date, but to be married. And then once you're married, your goal is to be the best wife and have the best relationship and have the best husband and the best communication, right? And to grow old together. So as you continue on, you will have new goals, just like with a job. Your first goal is to get a job. Then it's to get promoted. And then once you get promoted here, it's to move up here and to learn these set of skills. So there's multiple goals, and you can keep pushing the goal forward. But if you're dating, your goal is to be a wife. And as I told you in the last stream, that to be a wife, you need to be someone with wisdom. So learn from your past mistakes. If you're having children after children after children with no good men, then you have not first got the W down pat. You need wisdom. And a lot of people are making the same mistakes. Maybe it's not you to have children, but you keep getting with guys who have children and they're not taking care of their children. You can use what they're doing to determine if this is the right person for you. Because if they can't take care of something that came out of them, how can they take care of you? Right? And then we have intelligence. Because a lot of times our femininity is getting away, our intelligence is getting away, being emotionally mature. We want to yell and scream and fight and say, well, I'm doing this and I'm talking to him like this because he doesn't deserve my respect. Then leave the relationship. So we need to have enough emotional intelligence to when to gracefully walk away. Not crazy walk away, banging on doors, but to gracefully walk away. And then F is the femininity. A lot of times we're not in our feminine state. So when you are in these relationships, sometimes you may be with a good guy, but hold yourself accountable. You weren't feminine. You were combative. You weren't peaceful. You weren't loving. You weren't encouraging. You were disparaging. You made him look bad. You were condescending. And that falls in femininity. And a lot of times femininity will mess us up in a relationship. Again, E, empowering. We weren't empowering them. We were just like letting them do their thing. We not empower them to want to be masculine. And when I say empower them to be masculine, yes, he needs to be masculine on his own. But if you see him sitting down and you're like, hey, I need this, and then he's not ambitious, move on quickly. Don't keep giving too many tries with that. Like a lot of times, and I like to say some of these things with giving men leadway, because sometimes men didn't grow up seeing other men. They didn't see married men. They didn't even see men on the right track. So we got to give opportunity for men to give them a chance, right? Giving them opportunity. If they don't open doors, don't leave them right away. They probably never seen men open doors. They probably never seen chivalry, especially in this day and age. So we got to give men the opportunity. And sometimes we can either cut them loose too fast, or we can move in too quick without vetting. We cannot be in our feminine state, and that can drive some men away. We're emotionally unstable, so we're not emotionally intelligent, and that can drive men away. We are not using wisdom. We're bringing in past drama and it's affecting our current relationship. We have to understand that we have to act like a wife if we want to be a wife, right? And we are saying that we're having problems with men because men are the problem. They're not leading. No. If the man you're with is not leading, why are you even in a relationship? You shouldn't even have that problem. Why? Because the minute you see he's not leading, the minute you see he's not aspiring for greatness, the minute you say, hey, I need a little hustle, and he's not moving, then move on. Be like, okay, well, you do you, and I'm going to go and do me, right? And then do that. Right? But I'm just saying, have a conversation the first time. I don't necessarily believe in cutting people off without at least having a conversation. Now, there are some times where I say, if they are blatantly disrespectful, they know what they did, then you can ghost them, which is essentially not ghosting, because they know what they did. They know why you didn't pick up that phone call again. They know why the relationship has come to an immediate end. Some things don't warrant this big discussion. Right? They curse you out. All right. You don't even have to worry about calling them again. Don't even talk to them again. And if that's ghosting, so be it. But if it's not obvious, if it's not blatant, give people the opportunity. Tell them what you want, what you don't want. And then from there, because if not, then you're not holding yourself accountable. You're putting all the blame on one person, not realizing about your choices, the choices you made, the things you said or didn't say, your actions in all of these situations. Men aren't just, forcing women to do things, forcing women to have children. They're not just laying down with women without her consent. So if you're a woman, own up. Woman up. Put on your big girl panties and own up. You've made some mistakes. You lacked wisdom. You lacked emotional intelligence. You lacked femininity. You weren't empowering. You weren't uplifting. So you weren't a wife, and that's why you're not a wife still, because you weren't behaving like a wife. Again, WIFE, wisdom, intelligence. And intelligence, a lot of people are relying on their educational intelligence, but emotional intelligence is key. Femininity and empowerment, WIFE. Now let's get to men as far as accountability. With men, a lot of men aren't being men. You're not being a man. And a man is walking in your masculinity. A lot of times these guys will walk around as nice guys. You're a nice guy and you're not the good guy. See, there's a difference about nice guy and good guy. Nice guy is the guy who's passive. They walk over you. There's no leadership in you. There's no fight in you. You're just, you're either feminine, you don't care, you have no hustle, no protector, provider, protector, leadership, built up in you. You don't want to do anything. You're not manning up. That's part of your masculinity, being a provider, protector, and a leader. And if you can't lead, if you can't be decisive in your decisions, and you can't tell a woman what you do and what you don't want, you can't be mad when the woman's disrespecting you and you still want to be in a relationship with her. Hitting you upside the head. I have a video, and so just to make my point, I'm going to put a few clips in here. So the first clip I'm putting right here is the guy who is still with the woman who's disrespecting him. And how do I know he's still with her? Because he never left the store. He's walking around mad, showing aggression. That's not masculinity. But he has no leadership in him. Like, hey, I don't take this, and walk away. He don't have standards. The fact that he got with this person who lacked the femininity, emotional intelligence, she didn't have the intelligence, but he stayed with her and he never left the store. There's two reasons why he never left the store: because he's going to come back to her and he's okay with that toxic behavior, or he didn't have a car, a way to get somewhere. It was her car, so he stayed there. I'm telling you, I know what I know. If he didn't leave, he didn't look like he was leaving, because he would have walked out that store. He walking around in circles. No masculinity. All right. A, aspiring for greatness. If you laying up in some woman's house, if you doing something, other than providing and protecting, and again, protection is not physical protection, but emotional security there too. If you're not doing that mentally, if you're not protecting her mentally, you're verbally abusing her and all these things. If you are not aspiring for greatness, if you're okay with being mediocre, the bare minimum, then you're not a man. And then you want to blame women. Oh, these modern women. No, if you're not having that hustle in you to want to do anything, you're not being the man that you need to be. Because if you're asking for a traditional woman, then that woman wants a traditional man. And if you're the modern man that's okay with the 50-50, if you're okay with not providing, not protecting, not leading, no ambition, no nothing, and you want her to pay for everything, fund everything, then you're the problem. Man up. Stop quoting Kevin Samuels. And you don't have the resources. You're not high valued. You're not noble. That's the N, M-A-N. You're not even noble. You're not honest. You're deceitful. You are not someone that can be respected and trusted. Be that noble man. You want a woman who's loyal and you're not? You want a woman who's peaceful and you're not? You want a woman that has good character and yours is poor? Are you kidding me? So again, accountability goes both ways. We got one group saying it's all women. Women are holding themselves accountable for nothing. Are you kidding me? So we just gonna pretend like there's not men running around creating children and then not being in the home. It's not enough. So even if you have the resources and the money, like a Nick Cannon, he is not providing the emotional security these children are going to need. There's a difference when there's a father in a home. Just because you could throw money at it doesn't mean anything. Providing is not just providing financial needs. Providing is providing mental and emotional and spiritual. And if you can't do that, if you can't help bond and create a connection with your child and you think money is enough, then you're part of the problem. So if you're like a Nick Cannon, you're part of the problem. If you're like a Future, you're part of the problem. All right, so that is all I wanted to say about accountability. I think both men and women need to hold themselves accountable. I think that men need to stand firm on their standards, because if they do, then women are not going. You're not going to deal with certain kind of women because you have standards, and this is the same with women. People say they have all these standards, but they'll get in a relationship with the opposite of what they say they want. I want a man who's going to do this and this and this and that. And then I want a man, he got money, but you laid up and pregnant by a bum. You want a man that does this and this and this, and he has none of those. And the last person you would have had none of those qualities. Or all he had was money, but he had no integrity. Or you as a man say you want a woman who is this and this and this, and the last chick you was with was hood. You couldn't take her anywhere professional. You were embarrassed by her image. Everything she had was not even her. When she stripped herself bare, it was like you were with another woman, but you say you want all natural. So again, if you say you want something, if you have standards as a man, live up to them. Say what your standards are and actually live by it. Talk the talk and walk the walk. Practice what you preach. Whatever phrase you want to say, but whatever you say, actually live by it. Have consistency in your life. And a lot of men don't have consistency. They talk a good game, and the women they're with is the opposite of that. And the reason how I know that is because men are saying how they don't like combative women, but all they were with was with combative women. And when I did this video that I'm going to play here in a second, they saw that this was TV. This isn't reality. Are you kidding me? This is reality. You want to know why it's reality? Because the minute, and I'm married, I've been married for 13 years. The minute my voice is raised to an optic that my husband doesn't like, bye-bye. We're gonna have to end this conversation. That's real life.
Listen to me for once. I wouldn't need to go there.
Oh, so this is an I told you so call.
How is this an I told you so when you never listen?
All right, we're done here. Bye-bye now.
You are my woman, and I love you. But if you ever tell me that you are not speaking to me for a week again, I will drop you like a bad habit.
Well, hey, look, if I don't make you happy, then why are you with me?
Good point. So why don't we just say I am no longer with you?
What does that mean?
We're through. It's over. Don't want you. Bye-bye.
When we were dating, my husband said, hey, this is what I want. This is considered respect, even if it's not blatant disrespect. This is respect to me. This is disrespect to me. You disrespect, then this happens. And he said that. And I got myself together. So I'm telling you from experience. So again, if you men, man up and say what you want, and then when a woman doesn't do that, you let her know and cut her off, just like Kyle. Some women you have to talk to, like Kyle did. Don't want you, bye-bye. That's reality. I don't know why y'all saying this is TV. So I'm saying when men are the leaders. So when you guys change, women are going to have to change. If you say, I'll never date a woman again who is like X, Y, and Z, and you actually don't, and all men did that, all those women would stop because they want a man. So they're going to do whatever it is to get that man. So you set the tone. You're the leader. But again, I'm going to say to women, you shouldn't even have these problems with men because you won't accept them in your life. You won't even entertain them. So again, you're accountable for your actions, for the choices that you made, the people you allowed to come into your life, the people you allowed access to your mind, your heart, your body, your womb. And men, the women you've allowed to carry your seed. You talk about how crazy this woman is and she trifling this and that, but you put your seed in her. You weren't careful of who you had children by, who was the mother of your child. Mad at her because she bringing you in court and taking everything from you, but you had a child by her. That was your seed. You could have sucked it up. You could have wrapped it up. But I digress. Thanks for tuning in to Mrs. Danielle DeVita. Take care. We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should.
My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today.